All right, guys, we want to thank you so much for sending us DMs, and we really enjoy hearing from you guys. We're trying to keep up. We do have full-time jobs and more than one job, but I want to share a couple DMs that we got recently. This one's from Barry. Barry says, I've seen shadow people twice in my apartment since I moved in, and he's going to keep us posted what happens. What do you think about that, Mags?
Shadow people, they are definitely not my thing. I love capturing them when we go on investigations because it is a definite piece of evidence that spirits are here with us. And Barry, I mean, it's not always a great thing to have little shadow people roommates with you. I hope that if they are there with you, that they don't bother you, and you can live in peace with them. But keep us updated. Let us know what else you see, if you see them again, if it was a one-time thing. Shadow people are pretty creepy, so keep us updated, Barry. Hope everything's okay.
Yeah, I hope he can move out too. I know sometimes it's hard once you move in, and that's going to suck if you're trapped with shadows.
Yeah.
This one is from Larry. Larry likes to ghost hunt himself, but he avoids graveyards because sometimes they follow. No, he says they always follow him home.
Oh,
What do you
wow.
think of that?
um as you guys know, me and Lisa always do a prayer after we do investigations. This is something we do spiritually to cleanse our aura, to cleanse our energy, to make sure that we don't have any spirits that follow us. So, Larry, if you're listening or if you're watching, maybe if you want to try that the next time you go and visit a cemetery. I know that it is a hobby, and for some people to go visit that, it's really interesting to go. So if you go next time, or if you stop going, great, but if you do go next time, just when you're leaving, say a little prayer and just let the spirits know that they're not welcome home with you. And that should work. I hope any spirits that are at your home now, that you get the help to remove them from your home, and hopefully they know that they're not wanted and go to their resting place, or where they reside. So hope everything
Yeah.
gets better.
This one's from Christian. He said, we live on the big island of Hawaii and have been learning a lot of things that went on there. And the house that they're in is supposed to be haunted, but who knows? Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know, Lise, how do you feel about if you hear that somewhere is maybe haunted, like somewhere that you're
I think
living?
it gives me a little bit of chills, and then you're thinking, oh, did I make the right move? Did I move in the right area? I mean, sometimes it could be kind of fun to tell ghost stories, but not in a home that you just moved into. So I would just say it's good to be learning these things because sometimes there's ghosts that need closure, just like the living. And it's good to find out these things so you can maybe give closure to them and they could go on their way. So I think that's a good thing to learn about it.
Keep us updated. See, I mean, Christian, let us know if you hear or see anything in that haunted home, or supposedly haunted home, because we would like to know. Hey guys, it's Maggie and Lisa again, back with another podcast. Today we have a special guest. Hilario is here with us. He's gonna tell us all about his encounters and experiences with the paranormal. But first, we kind of want to get to know him. So tell us about yourself. Have you always been into the unexplained? What do you do? Tell us everything.
Okay, where do I start? My name is Hilario Rodriguez, and the way I got into the paranormal was basically because I married a woman that it, she has that little thing where she will sometimes she'll be standing right in front of you, and she'll tell you things that are later going to happen, or things that have already passed. So I got duped into it involuntarily, because I didn't know these things. But that's that's how I got into the paranormal.
Awesome. So has she said anything to you that just kind of blew your mind? I mean, I'm sure she said a couple of things that you're like, whoa, but what's like the one thing that
Uh,
she said and you're like,
the one thing was basically, this was like quite a few years after we were married. Um, my father had already passed away and everything, and it had been already years since my dad had passed away. And one day I was having trouble with my younger kids because they made my life miserable because they wanted me to buy them some toys over at the Walmart. Well, I wound up buying them, and I wound up getting kind of pissed off about it, but they're kids, right? So then we went to bed that night, and then the following morning, that's when she totally just blew my mind right out of the. I was like astounded. She wakes up and she tells me, "You know what, honey? Um, I had a dream about your dad, and he was smiling and laughing, and he told me to tell you to be patient with your kids, because just remember the time that you made his life miserable over at a Zaire. Back in those days, they used to have Zaire. Anyhow, and you made his life miserable because you wanted that little green worm. And it used to be these little green worms with four wheels that you could actually ride like a horse. That's when I just like sat back for a second, and it's like, whoa, wait a second. You never knew about this. I had forgotten about it because this happened way back in when I was 3, 4 years old. Actually, she reminded me of it, and I was astounded. That's when I actually started to believe everything that she used to tell me about certain things and other stuff. And I mean, I could go on for days on end about all the stuff that she's done, and you know,
So whose idea was it to go ghost hunting? Was it yours or hers? How did that fall into place?
that's me. That's me. I'm the crazy one that I when something intrigues me or scares me, I go after it just because I don't know. It's just I want to find out if what's there. Um, and you know, uh, we just like to go out and explore certain spots. The Fairmont, St. James cemeteries, Resurrection Cemetery. Uh, Man, like I said, me, that's like our family outings. It's like we actually probably enjoy doing that more than going to the mall or to the movies, because we see a lot of freaky things. Um, to include, I mean, man, when we went to Bachelor's Grove, this was not this was in somewhere between July and August, somewhere around there. It was still hot outside. We had nothing to do. We were kind of bored. My son Maddie, he's always been nagging me, "Hey, Dad, let's go to the cemetery, let's go to Bachelor's Grove." So it's like that day, it was just me, my wife, and Maddie, my middle son. So we decided to go, and it's like, I had just come from work, the sun's still out, and I figured, you know what, let's take a quick ride. Why not? The other kids are playing games and they're on the computers and stuff. So let's go. So we went. And by the time we got over there, we parked in the forest preserve across the street from Bachelor's Grove in the parking space. And, the sun's starting to, you know, go down. So we're getting ready. I got the thermal camera on, and my son's got the night vision goggles on, and the phone. And just as we crossed over the road, That's when the sun actually just dropped. You know, it started to go into darkness, and I was like, okay, cool, this is awesome. Now the freaky thing about this is, as soon as we started walking down the path, I could say we probably went there. We were probably about a quarter way in through the path. We hadn't even gotten to the cemetery yet, and the path seemed like a tunnel. It literally looked like a tunnel. Like you're inside of a cave and you're just going down a straight, narrow cave.
I can imagine.
And my son starts recording. I break out the thermal vision and we're checking all around, seeing if well, this is pretty cool. All right. Well, right as I'm walking, I was stopped dead in my tracks, because if you guys own dogs or anything like that,
Mhm.
okay, you know how sometimes your dog will run right in front of you to the point
Yeah.
where you almost like trip over yourself. I had to
Yes.
do one of those things because the biggest, blackest dog ran literally right across from this side to this side. I was just like, whoa. And my wife clung on to me like like she was my backpack, literally.
Wow.
And she's like, what's going on? Did you see it? What did you see? What did you see? And I'm like, I think I just saw a dog. Hang on. My biggest concern was, this big ass dog is going to bite us or something.
Yeah.
Well, I put the thermal vision to try to track him. I didn't see anything. And I saw it. My wife saw it. Maddie, he saw at the moment that I saw that on his camera. You see like a white little orb just fly right across his camera. We proceeded. My adrenaline is already pumping. We're like, okay, this is getting good. I like
You
this
didn't
because
hear any footsteps. You didn't hear any rustling or anything.
nothing. That's the weirdest part about the whole thing. You know how sometimes at night you hear the crickets and stuff
Yeah.
like that? We couldn't. It was just silent. It was completely silent, and we just proceeded over to Bachelor's Grove, and we were there for a little while, and it was uneventful. Nothing really going on. It's still early at night. It's just the three of us, and it's during the weekday. You know, it's just nothing there. Okay, cool. We took a couple pictures, and we decided to go on back. Now, just before we got to the end of the road, right where right where the entrance is of that pathway,
Right.
this guy out of nowhere on a bicycle shows up. I'm there talking, saying hi to him, and he's just telling us, oh yeah, I parked like a few miles away, and I rode my bike over here and all that. I'm just gonna be over here and see if I see anything. Oh, okay. Well, his bike is pretty. You could tell. I mean, he's got lights on it and everything.
Hmm.
And he starts walking down the path. And okay, I didn't think anything of it, right? Well, my wife and Maddie, they my wife, she didn't say a damn word to this guy. And it's like I'm talking to the guy, and then Maddie's talking to him. But then, as he left, they both turned back, and then it's like, okay, he's going down there. And then all of a sudden, we're walking a little bit more. We look back just for a little bit again. The guy wasn't there. And I did, and I had my thermal vision. I figured, okay, let me see if I can track him on the thermal.
Right.
I couldn't even catch him on a thermal. So
Was there any way that you can actually like if he was going down the path that you saw him going down, could you be able to still see him at that point, or what? I mean,
if
was
I
there
could,
any way for him to disappear like that?
well, you know what? I I could, if I couldn't have seen him with my bare eyes, I could have tracked him with the thermal seeker, because that thing has like a 1,000 meter range. So I would have been able to track him right off the bat. It's a military grade thermal scope. So I would have been able to track him, and I couldn't catch a reading on him. And I was like, what the hell? I mean, and it's a straight road. It's not like it curves or anything. It's a straight path.
Right.
So I know the guy wasn't able to go that distance that fast. I mean, it was only a few seconds after we stopped talking to him, and then all of a sudden he was gone. And even if he would have made it over there to the cemetery part, I still would have been able to catch him on the FLIR.
Right.
So that's one of the experiences, you
That's
know.
crazy. Me and Lisa have been to Bachelor's Grove before, but when we went, it was complete daytime. So I can't even imagine you guys going during the nighttime. Like you said, I can't imagine it being anything other than, like you said, a cave or a tunnel, because it's the path isn't wide at all, and it's not a road path. It's not like anything man-made. It's pretty much a worn path that people have gone down. So it's not very wide, and it's surrounded by trees and woods and everything. So
Right.
guys, if you've never been to Bachelor's Grove, like Hilario was saying, typically people will park across the street in some kind of little parking lot where the preserve is, and then you cross the street and then you go around to some path, and then that's where you take a long path road to where the cemetery is. And he is saying that he went in the dark, and I would say that the path is what, maybe like about 7 minutes of walking, 7 minutes of walking, something
Yeah,
like that.
around about, yeah. If you're at
Yeah,
a decent slow pace, I mean, yeah, you 7, 10 minutes,
yeah.
and it's straight. It's straight down. It's
Straight
actually
path.
kind of eerie.
Yeah,
You
like
know.
he said, it's a straight like tunnel. He got nail on the head with the tunnel part. But I can't even imagine going there at nighttime walking that path. But there is absolutely no other way to get there.
It's
Have
actually
you
pretty
heard
cool.
the story of the ghost car that they see down that path?
They see a what?
A ghost car.
A ghost car? No, I haven't. Oh wow.
It's like a little tale of Bachelor's Grove. One of the stories is that people see a ghost car going down that path. I don't know if maybe like old gangsters would use that path to dump bodies back there or whatever the case is, but people say they would see a car going down that path, and when then they look back, obviously it's not there. But yeah, that's one of the tales.
Oh wow. Wow. Well, I mean, that's a place to tell the tale at, because I
Yeah.
mean, it's yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. You know, it's interesting.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is really interesting. And going back, Hilario, to the bicycler, if it was a spirit, it sounds like it was an intelligent spirit, because it was actually speaking to you, and it was saying something intelligent to you. Did you catch
yeah, we
something?
actually have him on camera too.
Oh, we
Yeah,
Oh,
would love to
yeah,
see that.
yeah, we have him on camera because Maddie had his phone and he was running the camera, and you could hear the guy talking and everything. But then just a few seconds later, he just disappeared down the path. I mean,
You're gonna have to send us a clip so we can show everybody at home.
yeah, I'd
yeah,
love to.
that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Uh,
Mags, I don't think we caught anything, right, when we were at Bachelor's Grove?
No, we caught nothing. We seen all the really cool graves. We seen the cool graves that have like the pennies that people leave. We went all the way by the fence where the fences are, and the little pond over there is. But yeah, we didn't catch anything. It is well known for spiritual activity, guys. If you want to go to Bachelor's Grove, and there's that very famous picture. I believe it's the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove, where
oh, the
she's sitting
lady.
on one of the graves. It's a very famous picture. If you guys Google it, or we'll insert a picture of it here. That's one of the most famous ones, and that was taken at Bachelor's Grove. So yeah, maybe we can go back and probably catch something if you want to come with your wife, Hilario. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you guys want to see her?
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Ana, ven tantito. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do that. I mean, I was just checking out some of the things on YouTube, and I think a trip that I would love to do, it would be Letchworth Asylum out in New York.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Hey, you meet my wife, guys.
Hi,
Hey.
nice to meet
Oh,
you.
She's got that psychic thing going on sometimes. She'll sense things, and she'll be like, she'll tell you things that you
She
don't
has a
even know.
gift.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
definitely.
you have to share with everyone, Hilario, what your wife has let you build in your garage.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, I will. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, on my Facebook page, I got the pictures of when we went down to Florida to pick up the airplane. I put it right on top of a pickup truck.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and hey, good times. I mean, so we had an incident happen, and when we went to Resurrection Cemetery in plain daylight, we went to where there's a huge, gigantic mausoleum there. So just like again, we're just out screwing around, me and the kids and my wife, and we're bored. We took the ride out there. My wife, she was like, "Guys, don't go in there because you guys are gonna come running out." And we're like thinking, nah, we're just gonna go in there. Well, we went in there, and we came out running. Make a long story short, and you know what? There's like a little chapel there where I took a picture, and I'm gonna look through my Facebook, see if I can find it. If not, I'll find it in my other phone. I just took the picture because it seemed cool. Well, guess what I caught?
What?
I literally caught a shadow sitting on one of the podiums because it's like a small little chapel, and they
Oh
had the
wow.
podiums, and right in the front pew or whatever, podium or pew,
Uh-huh.
uh, you could literally see the shadow of somebody sitting there.
Simplemente cuéntale cuando fuimos a
Terrifying.
rentar aquella casa y que te dije que allá había un señor y una señora y tomé la foto y estaba.
Yeah, one time out in Des Plaines, she she kept on bugging me because I wanted to rent out a house out there in Des Plaines, and she's like, "No, let's not do this one because I feel somebody's watching."
Mhm.
Well, on the way out, her and my daughter wound up taking a picture, and you could clear as day see a guy just looking out the window.
Really?
Yes, and it just so
Wow.
happens that it was the parents of the guy who was trying to rent the house. They had passed away, and he was going to rent us the house because he didn't want to sell it or get rid of it, but he already had his own home. And my wife was like, "Nah, I can't do this here. No, I can't do it. Nope, nope, nope." I,
Mhm.
I feel people watching us. And then the freaky thing about it is, a couple nights afterwards, we took a midnight run, just me and her, and we're driving right down the street where this house is at, and the lights inside were on. So it's like, oh, the guy must have rented it. So I called the guy up. The next day, it's like, oh, so you wound up renting the place? It's like, no, not yet. I'm waiting on you. It's like, what? Well, we rode there by last night after the movies and stuff, and we saw that there was lights on. It's like, are you kidding me? Ain't nobody there. Ain't
Oh my
nobody. Well, you're
gosh.
you're telling me that the lights are on. It's like, yeah, dude, the lights are on. It's like, dude, the lights are not on. Trust me, nobody's living there. So, yeah, that was kind of like a deal
Wow.
breaker.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would be a deal breaker for me too. I would be like, no, I'm good. I don't need any roommates.
right. Well, like I
No.
said, she does a lot of things that she'll tell you things that are gonna happen sometimes, and even before we know that they're gonna happen, that she'll let you know. It's like, hey, don't do that because this is gonna happen,
Yeah.
or don't do that. You know.
I'm gonna
Oh,
have to borrow your wife when I go house shopping.
dice que el día que ella vaya a comprar su casa, que quiere que vayas con ella para que tú le digas si hay algo allí o no.
Yo le puedo decir, pero lo que yo siento, yo eso lo voy a decir, pero este, Hay veces que siento vibraciones fuertes y me mareo y me tengo que salir porque no las voy a soportar.
Yeah, sometimes in certain places she'll feel like hard vibrations, mareos. She'll get dizzy, and she'll right away. She'll be like she won't go in certain places.
Oh, because the energy is so strong, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Porque esas cosas a mí me rechazan a que yo siga adelante y me tengo que salir.
yeah. So it's like she feels like they're just pushing her. Get out of here. It's like somebody pushing you. That's how she feels. I'm just translating right what she's telling you right now. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's
Yo
definitely
de
a
la
gift.
pronosticación de la casa que yo la pronostiqué que se iba a quemar y se quemó.
eh?
De la casa que se nos quemó yo lo pronostiqué y se
Yeah.
quemó.
Like she had we had a house that burnt down on us a few years back, and yeah, she for like few days before this happened, she's like kept on telling me, "Hey, I see the house burning down," and I was like, "Nah, everything's fine. It's a new house. Nah, that's gonna happen." And sure enough, on October 27th, we almost wound up dying. We got chased by. It started in the basement, and the fire literally chased us all the way upstairs, and we had to go out the fire escape.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ahora dile, cuando íbamos a ir a la casa de espantos, yo te pronostiqué cómo iba a ser todo
Oh
el
yeah.
camino.
And yeah, she'll know things like one time she's like, yeah, I see us going to this one haunted house, and what? It's Halloween. Yeah, of course we're gonna go to a haunted house. No. I see this haunted house, and it's gonna be like we're gonna be on a bus, and they're gonna take us this lonely road, and it's a white house, and it turns out that it was the that one haunted house down in by what's it called? Jesus, Gates of Hell or something like that.
I've been there. They take you on a school bus
On a
down the
school,
road.
and it's a white old looking mansion thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I did. We just decided to go that one year, and she's like, she already knew where the hell we were going before I did.
That
So,
was
yeah.
one of my favorites. I really like that one.
That was a pretty cool one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have loved to done a something in private where it's like you go in there at nighttime.
Yeah.
Just a handful of people and just go explore it.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
It's really cool. Yeah.
So Hilario, how does your wife know how she got to this level of being in tune and being able to see more than a lot of people can? I mean, how did she get to that point? Does she know?
I kind of like pushed her to try to help her to channel those things because she's actually afraid of a lot of what she's got. When she went down to Mexico, you know how down in Mexico they have these curanderos and all people believe in all that stuff where they'll use like santeria and stuff like that to cure people out of a sickness or whatever. Well, her and her sisters, they went down there, and this one old man was looking at her, and he's the one that told her, "Hey, you got a gift, and you got the gift that most people would want to have because you can tell what's happened before, you can tell what's gonna happen, and you can foresee what's gonna happen even farther down the future, and you have that gift." And you have the gift to actually channel spirits. Well, she's deadly afraid of this, so it's like I gotta coach her into it.
Yeah.
So
Dile cuando yo le dije a mi hermana Mari que a Fito se cuidara.
holy shit! Oh my god! Yeah. Now here's another story, guys. Just a few weeks ago, she told her sister down in Mexico City, down to she tells her sister, "Hey, tell my cuñado or her husband to be careful because just tell them to be careful. Something's gonna happen." And her sister didn't want to believe it because she's kind of skeptical.
Yeah.
And I'll send you guys the video too. This man is driving down the loneliest street in Mexico City, right? and this is on a street camera that where they caught the accident. A fucking branch, just like the only car that's going down the street, and you can just literally see the branch just like time it correctly. It falls right on top of them.
What?
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
God.
yes, yeah.
That's a freak accident.
That is a freak accident, which she warned her sister like a few days in advance. It's like, sis, tell your husband just be careful. Tell your husband just to be careful. Well, she didn't want to pay attention, and then all of a sudden, a couple days later, it's like, hey, sis, can you tell me what else is gonna happen? Because this is
Oh
what
my.
happened to my husband, and she sent the video to her, and you can literally see like the car just driving, and then you'd think that the goddamn tree was just waiting for this guy, and you see the branch just fall, boom, right,
Wow.
right then and there. It's like it was timed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, that's spooky.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like I said, she's the one that does a lot of this stuff, and
Hilario, you need to coach her and have her channel into the jackpot.
that would be awesome. Yes. Que la lotería, mi amor.
No, no sabemos.
you know. But yeah, I mean, that's just some of the things that happen to us, and some of the, and that's the reason why I'm always intrigued about this stuff. I'm always like, what what's after this? We'll
That's
probably still
awesome.
wind up working after
What,
this.
what,
No, notifiqué del carro que se iba a quemar y se le quemó a mi hija.
Oh yeah, yeah. She also predicted the day that my daughter's car went up in flames,
Really?
just like yeah, right in front of her house.
was anyone in the car?
Yeah, my daughter. My
What?
daughter was in the car, and she just barely managed to get out, and then all of a sudden, my daughter's calling me. Is like, Dad, I'm really sorry. Well, what's going on? The car went up in flames. I'm so sorry. It's like, what? Are you okay? He's like, yeah, but okay. So I made a big joke about it. I put it on Facebook. When you let your daughter borrow the car, then she brings it back in flames. So yeah.
Wow.
So, oh yeah, yeah. You look kind of freaked out there, Lisa. You're kind of
No, not
quiet
at
over there.
all. This is up our alley.
Yeah,
Oh
this is
yeah,
I'm
awesome.
enjoying it.
oh yeah. I
But
mean,
what
she.
do you guys think spirits are? Like, I mean, has your wife ever channeled them? And if she did, what do you think they are?
¿Tú qué crees que ella te dice? ¿Qué crees que son los espíritus?
Pues por lo que yo sé, a mí me siguen los espíritus buenos, a mí me dicen lo que va a suceder y yo tengo que prevenir a las personas que yo veo que van a correr riesgo para que ellos se cuiden y no me hacen caso y cuando les suceden se acuerdan de mí.
Okay.
Son para prevenirme de cosas que van a pasar.
The spirits that basically approach her a lot are actually good spirits. And for her, it's just it means a communication and how to warn people of things that are going to happen to them. And but most of the time, people will look at her kind of crazy, and then when the shit happens, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So does she think that these spirits are from the other side, or are they just like different? I don't know, like just all random different kind of things.
you mean like heavenly spirits
Like
or
we have
devilish?
entities. There's some entities that claim that they never were born. There's some that claim they used to be a person. Like when you come across spirits, they all have different.
Bit different backgrounds.
Yeah.
As in, ¿tú qué crees que sean los espíritus? ¿Son entidades del más allá, entidades que a lo mejor nunca se hicieron humanos o entidades?
Para mí que son entidades del más allá.
Well, I mean, yeah, she's.
Porque hay espíritus buenos y espíritus malos. Los espíritus
There's
buenos son
good,
los que
there's
me
bad.
siguen Los espíritus buenos son los que a mí me siguen.
The good ones are the ones that actually talk to her.
Y eso es lo que yo, cuando yo siento que alguien está junto a mí, como tu papá, que me habla a mí,
Yeah,
y
when
tu mamá, que me habla a mí, mi mamá, espíritus que yo ni conozco.
yeah, sometimes all the yeah, it's basically good spirits, like prior human spirits. The bad ones, she does not. She's got supposedly she's got this aura that won't allow the bad spirits to approach her. According to the guy that down in Mexico that told us, like, you got that aura that attracts good spirits only. The bad entities, they tend to stay away. I guess it's the type of person that she is. Like for me, them sons of bitches, they don't even look at me or anything. So I guess I'm not a bad entity. So you know, yeah, for her, it's basically prior human entities that usually approach her. You know, she'll be walking. You guys remember back in the days, a couple of years ago when they emptied out McKinley Park, that lake, and because they were finding heads and stuff like that.
Whoa.
You guys ever saw that in the news?
Finding heads?
That
In
sounds
McKin-
familiar.
Yeah, in McKinley Park. Well, we used to live like a couple blocks away from McKinley Park, and we used to always go for, strolls at nighttime or whatever. Just me and her, just go for a walk, right? And there's a lake over there. And for years and years, she always used to tell me that she didn't like going by that lake. And it's like, why? Because I feel something. I feel like somebody's watching me and over at that lake. For years, until a couple years ago, they even emptied it out. They drained that lake because they found body parts and heads and stuff over there.
Wow.
Yeah, and
She felt the bad energy from that.
well, she felt the people that just needed to be found. Because usually when it's a bad entity, oh, she'll go into like panic mode and start, praying and stuff like that.
Does your wife also sense energy from the living or just from the dead?
Viva. Nada más, a Jasmine se la llegué a ver a mi hija. Una aura color azul cielo.
Okay.
Y esa es la que y a ti te la he llegado a ver.
Okay.
Pero
Yeah, she can pretty much sense the auras around the living too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like sometimes she'll know when I'm aggravated and or I have something that's in the back of my mind or whatever. She'll notice.
Simplemente yo pronostiqué la muerte de tu papá y la de mi mamá.
Yeah. I mean, she just made the comment that she predicted the death of my dad and her mom. So
Has your wife ever heard spiritual knocks? Because I've heard them before, and then someone died like a week later, or weeks later, months later. I just I happen to hear them throughout my life. Does she know anything about the knocks?
about the knocks,
Yeah.
can you
Well, some people call them death knocks. Some people just call them spiritual knocks, where the spirits are trying to communicate to you,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they use knocks.
Oh yeah. She gets them all the time.
Ah, is it
She gets
usually because of a death, or is it something else?
normally it's just they're just trying to communicate some message across for the experiences that I've seen her have, which uh it's normally just the spirits. They just want to communicate something to their loved ones of what something that they may have wanted to say in lifetime. That's usually what they do. And in her case, that's most of the time. What they do. Because I mean, when my stepbrother Gilberto, he passed away, um, he in a dream came to her and told my wife to tell his ex-wife not to get rid of the wedding rings because he gave him to her with a lot of love, and he basically died loving her. So told her not to get rid of the rings. She approached his ex-wife, the widow, and explained that to him. She was, the look on her face was like, what the hell is going
Yeah.
on? Yeah, how did you know? It's like, you know, my wife had to pull her aside and talk to her in Spanish, obviously, because, I tried to stay away from that conversation. But, she told me later on what happened.
Okay.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much for telling us the story. And thank you. Is it Anna?
Ana, yeah, Ana
Thank you
Maria, yeah.
so much, Anna, for coming on
Muchas
and
gracias.
sharing your story and all your experiences and your gift. We would love to like meet you guys in person and maybe do an investigation together or just have a good conversation, whenever
I'm
you
down for the
guys.
investigations, man. One last thing. When I was working at the VA, I was going surfing with my buddy Preston. We used to go down to Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, to go surfing out there. And the following year, we were planning to go to Hawaii. My wife's like looked at me. She gave me that look, and I'm like, "What?" But she didn't. She didn't want to like really tell me because she didn't want me to be brokenhearted. But she's like, "I wouldn't make too many plans on that," and that's all she left it at. Well, a few days before we would do our trip, I get a call from one of our friends that works also at the VA, and he's like, "Hey, bro, got bad news for you. What happened?" It's about Preston. I'm like, "What happened? Did he get fired? What's going on?" Tell you what, why don't you come on down to over here to the VA and let's talk about it. And I went over there, and my buddy had passed away. Well, in commemorance of him passing away and the friendship that we had, I was gonna go take some of his ashes out to Cape Hatteras by myself, and in his memory, right? And a few days before I went, she had a dream with Preston telling her to let me know, not to be hasty on taking a trip so fast and to wait it out. Well, I decided to follow her instructions. That same weekend that I was gonna go out there, Cape Hatteras got flooded. There was like a huge hurricane, and it overtook the island, and there was a lot of flooding and stuff, and they shut down the island. So
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, that's just some of the things that
man.
yeah, like I said, it's just what she does.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm impressed. And I'm looking forward to those lottery numbers. Come on, we all can use some
Dice
extra money.
que les des unos números para la lotería.
También quisiera saberlos, Gloria, pero
Those
I
are the
have
only
faith
things
in you,
that she can't
Anna.
do.
I have faith.
Dice que te tiene fe. Yeah.
yo un día tuve un sueño de la lotería y se me quedó grabado el número, pero ya cuando desperté se me borró.
Oh, she had a number in her mind that she had dreamed one time, but then it just erased.
Yes. It was for the
As soon as
podcast.
she
I
woke,
know
as
it.
soon as she woke up, it erased, her memory.
No.
I try to catch her when she's sleeping, and maybe I, have her talk to me while she's sleeping. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I can't wait to meet you guys in person and, get this going. I know Mags and I, we're ready.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you guys let me know when you guys want to do that.
We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
guys.
Bye, Anna.
You guys have a good night.
Bye,
You
you
too.
too.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Good night.
You
Night.
Night.
All right, man. Take
All
care,
right.
guys. Bye.
too.
Thank you guys so much for listening and tuning into our podcast. Thank you again to Hilario and Anna for being our special guests and telling their story. It's so awesome to hear from our viewers. Next time, we do have another special guest, and we will have a conversation all about the alien phenomenon. So I know we're going to have a lot of questions, and it's going to be a topic that is a little bit newer for me and Lisa. So tune in next time. for our special guest, and we'll be talking to you about aliens.
Ooh,
See you guys
can't
next
wait.
time.